Greetings, mortals, and welcome to Break the Dice, an improvised show where the fate of our heroes rests on the roll of a 20-sided die, where a 20 is a spectacular success and a 1 is a critical failure. Our players will be playing in the fantasy city of Shatterpoint, which is surrounded by the damp woods on one side and a vast ocean on the other. Our world will be populated by our NPCs. Joe, Maria, and Tyler will be playing all the people and magical beings that our heroes will encounter. And now, let's meet our players.
My name is Alar Drakal. I am an elven rogue with the alignment of chaotic neutral. I come from the lost city of Delrune, where the darkness slayed all of the people and my own family in a vicious attack. I now seek out the darkness to exact my revenge. Hey, Alan.
Hey.
Can I do a headbutt to whatever creature you're going to create in the moment?
Yeah, you got a 15, a blobby ooze that comes up out of the ground and solidifies into a green hard shell, and you just take your head, lean it back, and smash it, breaking the shell and letting the ooze just pour out onto the ground. Now, let's meet our other player.
I am Phelan Murdoch, a half-elf fighter with an alignment of chaotic good. Within my chest resides the Rana Ore. Shing! It's a magical elven blade. When crafted, its purpose is to discover every destination, both known and unknown. Hey, Alan.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, buddy. I would like to do an insight check on if this is going to be a good show or not.
You got a 3.
This is already working.
Our magical item for this week will be the adamantine trowel. Our story begins in a swamp where a pair of squirrel people are making a little pathway in front of their hovel house. They're about, less than a foot tall, and they're sitting there with their tiny little trowels, like just making these things as even as possible before they lay their tiny little stones down.
Yes, sister, let's make this the greatest creation of our young lives.
Yes, we will create the best path that's ever been passed.
Hell yeah.
I just wish there was a faster way of making a path, brother.
Perhaps if we concentrate and bring our mind energies together in the way of our forebearers, we can find that strength.
Wait, your father was a bear?
It's a long story.
Wait, what's this?
She reaches down into the ground and pulls out a third trowel, one that is a shard of an old adventurer's blade, and picks it up and holds it out for her brother to see.
What? Would you look at this? It was just laying in the ground down there.
It's beautiful. Do you feel its power coursing through your veins?
I sure
do. What was that?
I was almost attacked by a great lion.
And yet you slayed it with your bare hands and the help of that shard.
I think this trowel may be more magical than we could have ever imagined.
The squirrel takes the trowel and starts paving out a little bit more, and it's making it just perfectly level, perfectly flat. It seems like this is going to take a lot of time off of making this pathway just the perfect path. And as the squirrel is working on it, a giant footstep comes and crushes part of the path that they have been working on, and then keeps on walking off into the distance.
What was that?
It was a giant spooky footstep.
We should kill that giant.
What? We're just 2 small squirrels.
But we have the shard.
Do you really think it's that powerful, brother?
Yeah. I bet if we hacked at their ankles for long enough, they'd fall down and we could get them good.
So the brother squirrel goes around the back of the house and grabs his mount, a little frog named Ribbers, and he offers his sister to ride on the back right behind him, and they hop off away after the destroyer of their little hovel path.
We'll get you, giant!
Further in the woods, Alar and Phelan are clearing mud out of their boots. They've been stomping through this marsh for quite a while, and they're getting real messy.
Think we've taken a wrong turn, my friend.
What makes you say that?
The mud just keeps getting deeper.
That's good mud.
We want to go deeper into the mud? I mean, it's waist deep at this point.
Why waist deep mud?
Why some... What? Oh, come now. Come. I don't like being so dirty.
What's wrong with being dirty, Phelan? I'm sorry, Alar. Wait, what's your name again?
Alar. See, these woods are doing something to our mental capacities.
These damn damp woods.
The deeper the mud gets, the more confused we become.
Yeah, but you know that, so that's good.
True.
All right, well then, what do you offer? Huh?
Alan, a perception check. Can I sense a path out of these woods?
You got a 1. As you look for a path out of the woods, Phelan lobs another thing of mud, and it lands right in your eye. Like it's gonna. There's a chunk of it just stuck, like a hard piece of dirt in there.
That had rocks in it.
Mud is just smooth rocks, baby. Alan, perception check. Can I see if there's like a small hut or something, someplace I could make a little fire?
17. You don't see a small hut, but you do see a grove of trees on like a raised area where it's not nearly as wet and muddy anymore. It's significantly drier. It'd be a good place to set up camp for the night.
Listen, I know a spot if you want to. I used to go to it when I couldn't handle the mud. It's a raised area of trees.
Well, let me be clear. I can handle the mud. I just don't want to be in it.
Hey, it's okay, man. Some people like mud, some people don't. I'm not going to yuck your yum. Just don't yum my yuck.
What?
I don't know. Let's go to the clearing.
Very well.
They step up onto the clearing. They make it their camp for the night. And outside the camp, the frog hops up onto a log in the mud and looks down on these giants preparing fire at their campsite.
You know, Ayla, this would go a lot faster if you could spark.
You know how I get when I'm asked to perform like that.
I'm not asking you to perform, Ayla. I'm simply telling you, if you were to create a spark in your hand, we could have kindling.
Fine. I will try.
I believe
Alan, I'd like to do spark.
You got a 14 on your spark.
Hey! Come on,
snap
baby.
right at the fire, and the kindling catches and just ignites.
All right, one thing going well today.
You guys are able to dry off using this, and the frog that's looking down on you, its eyes are getting bigger. And Phelan, you get a 20 on your perception check. You notice this frog staring at you from a distance, and it seems to have some kind of unnatural light behind its eyes that's growing, and the longer it's staring at you, you realize it's going to pulse out this light in a moment, and you close your eyes right before the pulse happens. But Alar, you are blinded by this sudden green, sickening light that nauseates you.
Sorry, I meant to warn you. I smelled the frog.
Oh, so many things happening to my eyes today.
Yes, you there.
What
are you doing in my grove?
This is your grove.
Yes.
Sorry, friend.
I didn't see any signage. I'm sorry.
Oh, so now I need signage. Do you put signage all around your home?
Well, that usually helps. I mean, like an address or something.
The frog sets out a thing of bile, and with an 18, you feel just like this acid hit your eyes. And as you breathe in the smells around your face, you start feeling a little bit loopy. You're starting to see like the trees that should be green and the ground that should be brown is purple and red. Like everything is just kind of changed for you.
Phelan, Phelan,
When you
hold
look
my
at
hand.
Phelan, he looks like he's part pug, part man. Like he's not the normal person that you've seen and traveled with.
What's wrong?
Are you
Phelan?
feeling okay, man?
Phelan? Is that
Alar,
good doggy?
snap out of it.
Good
The
dog.
fuck? What the
Good doggy.
fuck? You're petting me.
Mine.
Mr. Frog, I'm sorry we started a fire in your home, but if you do that again, I will be forced to kill you.
Yes, I have very sharp daggers.
So you think you can kill me? You and your scrawny friend.
Did he just call me scrawny?
I thought I was this. Was you saying I'm scrawny?
Who are you calling scrawny?
You're
I'd take
both scrawny.
Okay, those are fighting
Do
words.
you want to do this or should I? There we go.
I'm drawing my bow and arrow. Alan, I want to do a called shot right in the fucking mouth of this frog.
You get a 19 on your called shot. The arrow goes flying. The frog pulls open its mouth to shoot another glob of acid. Your arrow catches the acid mid the vomit, and it knocks it back into its throat. The arrow catches him and flies him back, pinning him against the tree.
Alan, I want to do two daggers called shots on each eyeball.
You got a 5 and a 17. So one dagger just goes right down into the dirt. The other one catches it straight in the middle of the body.
Well then, not much to say anymore. Looks like you're about to croak.
I need to tell you something that you may not know about these woods.
Yeah, what's that?
There is another. There's another.
Another?
Come on.
There's a.
God damn it. It always happens to us. Every time they're about to tell us the most important information of our journey, and they croak.
I gotta
No
stop.
pun intended.
I aim for the mouth. I made that pun already, and it was intended.
Down in the mud below, the two squirrels look up in a tree and see that the giants have slain one of the great guardians of this swamp.
They killed them! How could they do that? Didn't they know it was 10,000 years old?
Now without the guardian of this swamp, we're at risk, and so is everybody in this mud valley.
It looks like we're definitely gonna have to take matters into our own hands.
Oh, I already have matters in my hands, brother.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
The two squirrels see that Phelan and Alar have set up camp. They've put out their tent and hammock, and they are getting ready to bed down for the night.
Ooh, there they are, getting ready to bed down for the night. I say we attack them in their sleep.
Yeah, that seems fair.
It's the squirrel's way.
Good night, my friend.
You know, it's a good thing that I'm a half-elf and you're an elf, so we don't have to actually sleep.
Yes, we shall.
Okay. First one to wake up has to tickle the other.
Yikes.
What are they talking about?
I don't understand.
I'm even more determined to kill them now.
They begin
Yeah.
to rest in their meditative state, and the squirrels hop from one tree to the other, riding on their frog mount. The sister dismounts with her little adamantine trowel and climbs down the tree and gets onto the edge of the hammock, walks out over where Alar is just swinging back and forth, and stands over him with her tiny, tiny weapon.
Take this, you protector killer!
She gets a 19 and stabs right into Alar's eye.
Yes! Yes, sister! You've struck a great blow for the mud people!
Alar, you got a 6 on your attack. You don't quite see what attacked you. You're assuming it's some kind of specter, and you kind of spin out of the hammock and fall down to the ground.
Should I go for the other one?
Yes! He's still asleep.
The squirrel jumps down from the hammock and with a 12 stabs into Phelan's shoulder while he sleeps on the ground.
Ow! God damn it, that's not a tickle! That's not a tickle at all!
Phelan, you have a creature on you. Attack it!
Hey, sister!
You got a 12 on your attack, and you punch out the squirrel in your hand.
What have you done?
There's another one, Phelan.
Oh,
Alar, you get a 5 on your punch. The squirrel jumps out of the way, and you just hit the tree with your bare fist.
Yes, even the trees are on our side.
How dare you! How dare you attack two small creatures that are only trying to defend their land?
you
Alan,
attacked two
diplomacy,
creatures.
diplomacy check?
You got a 1 on your diplomacy check.
Fuck you!
Back up. Hey, whoa.
You get a 19 on your attack, and you punch the squirrel that is in Phelan's hand, and the adamantine trowel goes flying off into the distance. The squirrel lands on its tail, and the tail breaks, its back leg breaks, and it's limping now on the ground.
Come on, let's go.
Ayla, it's a squirrel. It's a squirrel, man.
You two are truly evil. How could you come? You have come into our home. You've murdered our protector. And now you're breaking the legs of young squirrels who are barely 1/15 of your size.
Alan, I'd like to try diplomacy myself.
You got a 15 on your diplomacy check.
Hey, let's all take a deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouths, huh? We all breathe, don't we? Different sizes, we're different creatures, but we breathe, right? We breathe.
Idiots!
Together.
You've done something terrible! Don't you understand? That frog you killed was a protector of us, the mud people. And the real scourge of the land, a giant, roams free. You call yourselves heroes? You might as well be zeros.
Yeah, what she said.
Look,
Hands
You
on
would have made
hips.
the same joke.
you attacked us first, but let's put our differences behind us, all right? Can we just start over?
Did you not just
do you
listen
say?
to her say that you murdered our protector? That happened
Okay.
first. So let's not
Your
get into the
protector.
semantics of this.
Your
You're in
protector
the wrong.
attacked us.
The earth
Your
begins to
protector
shake,
forced-
and the mud
Yes, that
starts
thing
to-
right there. See it?
The mud starts to vibrate around this little raised area. And looking around, you guys are seeing large footprints in the mud. The length of your body sized footprints that have been marching around in this mud.
Okay, when you said giant, you didn't mean like we're giant compared to you. You meant like a giant.
Yes. What else
Very-
does that mean?
Those are very, very big feet prints, Phelan. Very big.
Yes, I'm aware. This giant, is it attacking you? Is it hurting you?
Every 10 years, the giant comes back to destroy the mud people and all of us in the forest. I thought maybe this would be the year that our hovel made it.
Why don't you just go somewhere else?
Without our frog
for that
protector,
year.
we stand no chance at all.
That's not true. Alan, can I try a heal check on the squirrel that Alar knocked out and broke the tail of?
You got a natural 20. Yeah, you take the squirrel, and you've had to heal Alar quite a bit, and so you grab the squirrel really tenderly because you know the Alar is also fragile, and you wrap its tiny little leg, you wrap its tail so that it's going to heal eventually, and you put the bandages just the perfect amount of tautness so that it's going to suspend the bone but not hurt the squirrel.
Such a caring elf. Phelan.
Just as they're talking, a shadow appears over them, over the trees.
As you look up, Alar, you see a one-eyed, 40-foot tall monster looking around, reaching down with its offhand, grabbing a tree and like a chunk of broccoli, eating the top of it.
So you want to
Alan,
don't want to get it wet.
I'm going to do a cold shot on this thing's eye.
You got a 5. You throw your dagger and it makes it up to about its knee before coming right back down to the ground.
Alar, stop attacking trees.
Well, I'm all out of options.
That's no tree. That's the giant.
Leave now.
Oh, so loud.
I said leave now.
Oh, God, that's obnoxious.
We don't, and you leave. Alan, an intimidation check?
You got a 6 on your intimidation check?
Bitch.
How about I step on you?
The giant Cyclops lifts up its legs and with a 17 brings it crushing down. Phelan, you jump out of the way of the foot itself without being crushed, but it sends a wave of mud that sends, like in a tidal wave, you crashing into a tree.
Oh.
Alan, I want to climb this thing with my daggers like ice picks.
You got a 6 on your climb check. You're looking for your daggers. You've thrown one into a tree and one's lost in the mud.
That's right. Where did they go?
What exactly are you trying to do, you tiny fool?
Nothing. I'm playing hide and seek with my objects.
Phelan, you get a 9 with your arrow. So the arrow, it travels farther than the dagger, but it only makes it up midway before it comes back down to the ground.
Friends, I know that you say you're heroes, but I must say this is going poorly. I think I have to share with you that the legend of our people says that only an adamantine shard can kill this giant. Just like the one my sister had before you punched it out of her hands and lost it in the forest.
Okay, listen, man. You buried the lead on that one, okay? Don't start with, we're not doing well, and then tell us how to fix it, okay?
The Cyclops with a 19 reaches down and grabs the back of your cloak, picks you up, and flicks you out about 40 feet into the woods. You get a 16 on your acrobatics check, and you grab the top of a tree in the distance before you, smash into the ground.
Squirrel friend, do you know where that shard is?
You hit me so hard I can't even remember, but I would guess it was 40 feet into the woods that way.
Alan, perception check. Can I start to run in that direction and find it?
You got a 15. Yeah, you remember where you punched it, and you remember seeing stuff go that way. You run into the mud, and it's really thick, and it's slowing you down. The Cyclops reaches down for you, and with a 14 just flicks you in the back, and you go skidding down across the dirt, and the mud is flashing all around you. You're completely covered in it, but where you land, there is a tiny little fragment. It's about half an inch tall, just of a piece of a blade.
Leave now, and I will only kill one of your squirrel friends.
What?
They're barely our friends yet.
What?
Alan, I want to do an acrobatics check and see if I can jump and climb him.
Yep, so you got a 19. You swing off of one of the branches of the tree, you jump from that branch to the next one, you grab onto his waist, you start climbing up the belt, and you are about at his chest height when he makes an attack at you. He gets a 6, he slaps himself in the chest, you jump out of the way, and now you're up on his shoulder.
Alan, I want to toss the shard to Phelan.
You get a 15. You take it, you hit it in the air, and you flick it up towards him. Phelan catches it, and he makes his attack, which is a 3, and he throws it at the face of the giant, the Cyclops, and the giant catches it with his hand and slaps it away.
Hold on! I have to power up the shard with the special Mud People song.
Yeah, we forgot about that. Oh,
Buried the lead again! You buried the lead!
I'm going
Brother,
to kill
will you
you
sing
all.
it with me?
Yes, of course.
Here's the shard, here.
The Cyclops gets a 5 as he tries to grab Phelan off his shoulder. Phelan runs to the other shoulder to get away.
Hang on, Phelan! They have to sing a song!
I'm aware!
Oh, the might and the power of the shard. It is sharp and it is hard.
The nonsensical squirrel song starts to power up the shard, and you're seeing a green glow as if the leaves and the wind is
Yes,
infusing
sister.
this tiny little piece.
The power of mud is coming to fruition.
It grows!
It's working!
All right, we just have to hit that last note.
Okay. 1,
Come on.
2, 3.
And with that, the shard is charged, and it becomes like a full-sized, for a squirrel, blade. It is now 2 inches tall total, and it has a very elaborate leaf-looking handle.
Phelan, I have it! Here it comes!
You take the tiny blade with a 19, you throw it up. Phelan is able to catch it with his hand, and he makes a swing with it. He gets a 9, and the Cyclops tries to move his head back as you swing the blade at him.
Alan, can I try and distract the Cyclops with a performance check so Phelan could stab him?
You get a 5. What do you do?
I just do this. Hey! Hey, look at me!
Cyclops gets a 19. It picks you up and just throws you across the swamp. You get a 14 on your acrobatics as well, and you're able to grab onto a tree.
Come on, brother! Let's climb up the Cyclops and attack its eye!
It's up to us, I guess.
Phelan, you get a 17 on your attack roll. You jump up as he's attacking Alar, and you stab the Cyclops in the eye, and that same bright light that the frog had coming from his eyes, it blinds this thing, and it's swinging around, and it is needing to run away from this nauseating, awful light. Phelan, you get a 6 on your acrobatics check. As you jumped down from the Cyclops, you crash through a few branches of the trees, and you are bloodied. The Cyclops, however, is running away, stomping through the woods. He is running past Alar hanging from the tree, who gets a 3 on his acrobatics check as the tree goes toppling down on top of him. And the Cyclops is running off. You are also bloodied, Alar.
While it's running off, can I take one last called shot on the back of its head with an arrow?
You get a 16. As the Cyclops is running away, your arrow just pierces right in the back of its head. And it makes like a little bit of blood trickle down.
Oh. What are you doing? He was leaving.
It turns around.
Oh, shit.
It starts marching back towards you.
Another arrow to its eyes.
You got a 15 on this arrow. It launches up and penetrates the eye right at the bottom part. It pinches the lid right against the eyeball itself.
Alan, I want to join that shot. I want to see if I can do a called shot on his arrow, like in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
You got an 8. The arrow just goes up, and it looks like it's right in line with it, and then it drops about 20 feet short.
If I was closer, that would have been.
You just did the same thing I did. You could have just let it be. Let it be.
Yes. Tell me, sister.
Let me do something good for our people, brother. I would like to sacrifice myself and force myself up the bottom of this giant.
Okay, you got a 17. You're a squirrel. You're able to spiral up along its legs. You're able to climb up to where the shard is like in its eye still. And you grab the shard, the tiny little squirrel-sized blade. You pull it out. And with a 6, you try to strike at it and realize that, it is going to need to be a sacrifice.
Yeah, I meant I wanted to go in its butthole. That's what I meant.
Sister.
Oh, okay.
Sister, let me say this to you.
What?
Don't you remember what our mother told us? That the one thing a giant can't eat is...
Squirrel.
Yes, because we're poisonous to them. So, I appreciate your willingness to sacrifice yourself, but as you know, I'm the one that's bigger and fatter and will have more poison inside of me, so it's actually up to me.
Listen, friends, I know
the male squirrel gets an 18 on its acrobatics check. It climbs up the body of the Cyclops, and as it's like opening its mouth trying to get the sister out of its eye, the male squirrel crawls down its throat, and immediately there's some swelling that begins. It's going into a cycloptic anaphylactic shock, and it chokes, and its body begins to fall on both of you. You get a 7 and 11 on your acrobatics check to get out of the way, and so part of the body just lands on top of you. You guys are covered under this fleshy mass.
Oh, my God.
Get it off of me! I'm so small!
Alan, I'm going to use my short sword to sort of carve my way out of this giant.
You get an 8, you start cutting and cutting and cutting, and you realize that you're cutting deeper into the creature.
Oh, no, I'm sinking in.
Alan, I'd like to reduce my size.
You got a 15 on reduced person. You cast the spell, and you are reduced down to a size small enough that you can crawl out from underneath. You see the squirrel by the eye. You reach out and hand it a hand. It reaches back at you with the sword and its hand. You pull the squirrel out, and as your spell ends, you still have the sword in your hand, and you grow to your normal size, and so does the blade with you.
Phelan, can you cast that on me, please?
I get one a day.
Son of a bitch.
But here, Ellen, on the strength check to see if I can lift him.
You got a natural 20.
Ew.
You grab like the flaps of the Cyclops where Alar is, and you lift up that part of the Cyclops so Alar can crawl his way out, and then you let it drop.
Oh, you must be working out, my friend.
Yeah, no big deal. This sword. Does it have a name, squirrel friend?
Let's name it after my brother and his ultimate sacrifice.
What was your brother's name?
Brick.
Sorry, was that
Brick?
with a B or?
Yeah, Brick with 2 Ks.
Oh,
Yikes.
well, that's how you spell it. Yeah. Brick.
Okay. Well, Brick the sword.
The brick sword.
Brick.
Well, that'd be confusing.
Yes.
Sword Brick.
I'm going to go
I
build a
don't-
monument to him so his sacrifice will not be forgotten here in Mud
My-
Valley.
My friend, we will leave your woods post haste.
Even
squirrel.
haste post.
The squirrel marches off into the mud, knowing that it has a lot of work left to do, and our heroes leave with Brick the Blade on their next adventure. This is our first stream on this channel, but if you want more adventure, check out our podcast. Look for Break the Dice on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Spotify. When the quarantine is over, you can find us at the Bearded Company performing live shows in Minneapolis, Minnesota at Huge Theater. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.